Yeah, you're a pretty savvy business guy, and Donald Trump is at a minimum that. What do you think comes of this upcoming meeting? Because as theatrical as the Obama meeting was, I take nothing away from that at all. This is the more important one, isn't it? Meeting with the Republican leadership and crafting a plan that you want to implement in 7 weeks.
Absolutely. I do think that the meeting with Obama and Trump was an important step, because I know that President Obama, when he came into office after viciously attacking President Bush, President Bush went out of his way to make sure that that transition was easy.
Why did he do that? Because I can remember at the time, and I thought, man, did you hear the stuff he was saying about you? And President Bush could not be more gracious, could not be. Maybe it's just the office of the presidency. Maybe it's just the historic importance of that house. I don't know, but I thought, wow. But there's been a lot of nastiness here, too, on both sides. But
well, I
do what you do.
Well, yeah, President Bush put the country first, and he also understood the burden and the tremendous pressure of being president.
But you do
and he
remember
wanted to move
the stuff they say, right?
Sure,
like you do remember that.
But politics, you've got to be thick-skinned, right. And so I'm confident that President Obama's thick-skinned, and he will put the country first and help with a very orderly transition, because I know he appreciated what President Bush did for him.
I also think a lot of this, Don, is like professional wrestling. As I said, it's all for the crowds, and then they get behind it. Okay, let's say, what can we do here? I hope I'm not being cynical enough to say that I know stuff that's done to camera, and then behind cameras, it's maybe different. We were told that the president and the president-elect met for an hour and a half. That's a good long time. What do you think they talked about?
Oh, I think they talked about one burying the hatchet. I think Obama probably talked about what Trump was getting into in terms of being president, and the nature of the job itself, and then talking about an orderly transition. And I think they likely agreed to bury the hatchet for the good of the country. And Obama.
Did they say it like that? Look, you know, you and I don't like each other. You and I don't. How? You know?
I would think that, look, President Obama is a very competitive person, and I think he respects people who are competitive and work hard and prevail. So I think there's some admiration about Trump.
To that point, one of his people said that President Obama marveled at Donald Trump's campaign instincts, and that he, I don't know whether he was shaking his head in disbelief, but say that he ignored everybody and got elected.
Well, he reminds me, and Trump reminds me in many ways of Obama. Obama was told, wait your turn.
Right.
It's too early. You haven't been in the Senate but 3 years.
Very good point.
And he ignored everybody, ignored the polls, and went ahead and won.
Yeah.
And
Trump did
the same
hyperdrive, though.
Yeah,
he was on his own.
Well, totally on his own, because he was abandoned by his own party to a large degree, vilified by the media so unfairly, and no support from the liberal media, and he won anyway. So, look, I think now, as a business person, he's getting on with the business now of running the country and delivering what he promised.
I think you hit the nail on the head, and I think one thing I've discovered talking about to business leaders for so many years, over 30 years, I know I seem very young.
Very. Younger than me.
There we go, right. But the first thing when I covered Donald Trump 30 years ago was that business guy, not the guy who later became the Apprentice star and all the media figure with the beauty pageants and all that, but the business savvy guy, the woman rink guy, the pragmatic, I can get deals done and get stuff out of my inbox guy. That's the Donald Trump, I think, that people don't see and appreciate, but I guess we will soon. Which brings me now to the next point. In this meeting going on with Republican leaders, he's got to be pragmatic and get past a lot of the ill will from the campaign with Republicans. And then he's got to say, here's my agenda. But they're going to present him with their agenda. And the Republican agenda isn't all on the same page. What does he do? Well,
he's a business person. Look, he's a CEO, and a business that's dominated by personality. The development business, which I'm in, is dominated by personality, conviction in your vision, and confidence to do that, and then an aggressive approach to execution. So he's going to listen to them, but he's going to make his own decisions,